Is this safe driving to Baghdad?
Very safe. 50-50.
It's like 50% we live, 50% we die?
Yes, this is why we drive through the night. It is much safer.
How much safer?
50-50.
Bro, what the?
Wake up on Miami Beach, all I see is sand. Take a look out my kitchen window, all I see is land. It only been 30 minutes, I made 3 more bands. Too much space, I can't even.
So I kind of want to make this video before it happens because I had a great question in the Discord. Well, honestly, I don't support day trading. Honestly, if you are day trading, you should take a step back. If you are not hitting the 5, 10, 15 year mark, do not day trade. I'm telling you, it's way easier to swing trade and just go with the trend, or, you know, learn the Mega 7 and the equal weight. But kind of just wanted to throw this in just for the Discord members on the pay side, because, you know, they're like, King, how are you up like 550% in options, and how are you hitting these tops perfectly and knowing when the top breaks in these trends? So let's just kind of back it up, because you know it's a good learning curve. You don't really get this very much. Like, you know, if you sub to the channel and you follow along and you leave a ton of likes on every video, you know, you notice some of the videos, because, you know, I trade with the market, I update you with the market. Some of the videos are pretty much the same, and I honestly hate it. I hate doing it. I hate uploading a video every day, but if I don't, then the rhythm of the YouTube just doesn't pick up. So if you have been following along, this is how you learn. You know, you sub to the channel. My whole goal isn't to become YouTube famous. I think prop firms are a scam. I think the market is a scam. I think when Trump posts a thing online, it's just manipulating you. But really, my videos are made for my kids, because I know later on, 10, 15 years later, they're going to be like, man, you know, did you ever watch all dad's videos? Especially if I pass away, you know, my kids can watch this and they can learn, you know, something really, you know, really great. So if you have been following along, today's a good learning opportunity. So a lot of people in the Discord, they noticed I was hitting like plays back to back to back at the right time. Like on Apple's play, started shorting right here, caught that drop. On Google's play, I started shorting right here, literally right here, caught the drop. Then we had a couple other plays. We had AVGO. AVGO was a little bit different, and that was mostly because of earnings, but literally when I saw that pop, shorted right here, caught the drop. On Amazon, we shorted right here, caught the drop. Now, I sold way before the complete drop, but you got what I'm saying is, and a lot of people are like, King, how are you doing that? Like, because, you know, a lot of YouTubers, you know, like Ricky or Ron, they're going to be like, look at A, Y, Z, you know, and then Ricky's going to tell you about a news article he read online, so the YouTube rhythm picks him up. Let's kind of break this down, right? So, you know, I talk about all the time how this box, right? You always have half of the Mega 7 controlling half the box, which is equal market weight. If you don't understand what I'm saying, come in the Discord. If you do want to join the Discord, come in the paid membership. You can hit these plays with me. If you want to do that, all you got to do is just go to the Join Stocks channel tab and come up and read what tier you want. And then, yeah, go to the Patreon, join the Stocks channel. If you need help, go watch the video of this, and then you can get into these plays. But the main thing is, if you are like new to trading, a lot of people don't understand. You know, they come into the market, they're like, my best friend said Tesla's going to 1,000 this year. You got to remember, guys, all the Mega 7 have an equal weight of market cap, and especially with SpaceX. My God, dude, it is so annoying when I read things or people say stuff in the Discord. No offense to my Discord members, but my God, dude, when you come in and you say, well, SpaceX is going to be a 1 trillion. It's going to be a 1 trillion. That's great. Apple's 4 trillion. You know, Microsoft is probably 3 trillion. NVIDIA is probably just the same. You get what I'm saying? When Tesla or SpaceX does come into the market, it's not going to pump 25 trillions of dollars. You have to realize this whole pie that I show you on this every video, half of it's the Mega 7, and then 10% of it is around the semiconductors, because semiconductors got added into the indexes this last March. And then you got energy, and then you got small cap stocks right here. Now, when we were getting this rotation, I started noticing, and I'll show you the rotation in a second, because we finally got the rotation into the market. I'm going to show you in a second. When we started getting the rotation in the market, I started noticing that it was like smaller, you know, cap Mega 7. So like Amazon, you know, 4 or 5%. And then if you know the rotation, if you've been trading along, it usually goes smaller cap Mega 7 and then bigger cap like Apple. And then all of a sudden, usually you'll see small cap rise as the big one drops, and they kind of equal out. And then you'll see semiconductors and then energy. You know, it just all collides pretty much. So let's try to back this up. So this is going to be a good learning curve. And then I'm going to jump back to the triple Qs. I'm going to show you how I hit these tops, okay? So let's just go through the charts really quick. So now we are getting a rotation in the market. I'm going to show you what the rotation of the market looks like. Because, you know, I don't really get to, you know, I have to trade with the market. I can't just be like, this is how you trade, guys. This is literally how you trade. Literally, the people that sub to the channel, leave likes, comments, and they watch daily videos. This is how a YouTuber should be explaining it to you. So let's just go through. I'm going to leave Walmart and Netflix out of the picture. So that box, right? This box right here, I want you to imagine it, okay? But I'm going to show you what it looks like in charts. So you can see how the tops were breaking, the 10 and 20 was going under. You can see how the 10 is under the 20, the bears are in control. You can see the drop in these smaller ones. So let me show you. This is what it looks like. So you can see how PLTR had its drop. You can see how Meta is starting its drop, but it's breaking all the simple moving averages. You can see how Tesla is starting its drop. You can see AVGO, how it's starting its drop. Now, after we get through Amazon, so you can see how Amazon's starting its drop. So that's like the wave. You know, the wave is crashing. These smaller Mega 7 stocks are crashing. And what that is doing, it's pushing these bigger ones down, like Microsoft. It's pushing it down. And watch how I start getting towards Apple and Google. You'll start to see the drop is just starting. Watch. Here's NVDA. It's going down to its 50, right? Now watch when I start getting to Google. See how it's a little bit higher. It's just a little bit higher. It's still above the 50. Let's go to the other Google. Same thing. And then you can start to see Apple, where we finally just got that sell-off. You're starting to see the wave. Now look at AMD. It hasn't started to its 50. So you see the complete wave out of the Mega 7. It's like, you know, it's just going like this with the Mega 7. And that's where you get that big chart I talk about, or the square or the pie, whatever you want to call it. But that's what you have to understand. This whole market moves together. And that's what a lot of people struggle with. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to jump to the 1 minute time frame on the triple Qs. I know that it is super rare for me to do, but we're going to talk about the 1 minute time frame. So when you do get this rotation in the market, you know, that's how I usually call out my plays. Okay. So when we were up here, I started noticing Google. So you can see on the date, let's just go on the date really quick. So it's June 5th, right? The top breaks in the Google, right? So let's go to the Google's top. Let's go right here. Where's June? Or wait, was it, which one was it? It was, I think it was, I got to go back 5 trades, so bear with me. I think it was Amazon. Yeah, it was starting to be with Amazon right here, where it's starting to melt down. And then you can see Google. So this was about like 3-4 days. So like here's May, you know, the 30th, where it started to drop. And then you can start to see the drop in the triple Qs right around here. Right here. So it's about a 5-day difference. Now, when you do get these drops in the market, you'll get a rotation. So this one was like Google, AVGO, Amazon. And then this drop was like Apple, NVDA, you know, and then such and such. Now, what I want you to notice is on the 1 minute time frame is this right here. Let's do this. So when you get these breaks, when you go into downtrend, it's just like an uptrend pretty much. But when you get these breaks in these tops, this is what it looks like. This is where you get that rotation in those stocks. So when I'm calling out plays, I kind of look at who's going to break first, who's going to break right after them, and then who's going to break next. So we're on like on the third break. And it's not going to be hard to flush down to, you know, the 50 simple moving average. And what is going to bring us to that flush? Well, when the triple Qs does break around 694, you will start to see the decline. Now let me back this up really quick. If it doesn't break, you could tap the top. Today in the Discord, you can come check the timestamp. When we hit around 710, say, hey guys, another top is in. If you want to average down or buy SQQ calls, go ahead. We hit that drop. Now if we do push up again, it's whatever. We know the ultimate direction. But if we do break around 694, you will start the next leg lower. Now we're probably going to get a flush, or it's probably going to do something like this, where it's going to hit the 50 and also hit the support. So it could take, you know, 2 days for that drop, or it could take one big flush, you know, just, or 36 hours, a day and a half. But the one stock that you need to pay attention to for this next move is going to be this one. And it's going to be either Google or NVDA. I'm going to show you in a second. But Google is breaking its 50 simple moving average. Now, Google's pretty big. It's around 15% of the market. So that's like another Apple dropping, a little bit more bigger than Apple. Because if you look at this, look on the NAS, right, or the triple Qs, you're looking at around 10, 14% between those indexes. Let's go to Apple size. So if you look at if you look at Apple, you're looking at around 11%, 8% of the triple Qs. So it's like an Apple dropping. Now, when Google or this triple Qs does break, it's most likely going to be Google rejecting down to its 100 simple moving average. And then you also have NVDA coming in behind that, already starting to give out, and it's going to start dropping down to its 100 simple moving average. And then you also have Microsoft. I'm going to tell you something in a second too. Microsoft has no supports. So you got like 35 right there, 30%. And then you also have Amazon, just a little bit more to go. So we could start pushing down to the 50 simple moving average. Now, let me tell you this really quick before you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go 0-day options. Don't do that. There's contracts out, not financial advice, educational purposes only. But Jimmy found contracts for September 18th. That's 100 days out in options. That's where you want to aim for. That's what Jimmy's thinking. Not financial advice, educational purposes only, YouTube. But that's what I'm saying is, and the reason why I'm saying, hey, on that time frame in options is because there is a chance that, say, Google, AVGO, Amazon, if they start to sell off altogether, there might be a chance where we probably won't break on that, or how can I put it? There is a chance where we might not hit that 50 simple moving average and do a bounce. We could do a flush to that 100 simple moving average. Now, if you want to play it a little bit safer, you can aim to that 50 simple moving average, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. That's gains. But you need to understand that if for some reason, just throwing it out there, if there's a push back up to the 20 simple moving average, those 100-day options will give you the insurance of if we did push back up there and then we did reject down here, it will give you enough time in those options to break even. That's why I don't support 0-day options. That's why I don't support week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month and a half. I usually set between 2.5 to 3 months on every play. And the reason why is there's always that chance where we could bounce. So 3 months out, if we did bounce and then reject off of that 20 simple moving average, you would have insurance for that. Now, if we do have a flush, which honestly, a lot of people are like, we already dropped to 2,000 points. That's our flush. No, we haven't even gotten our real flush in the market yet. This is just like, it's like consolidation, semi-flush. It's just, all it is just making lower lows. It's like a bull trend, just making higher highs and just going with the trend. And then all of a sudden you get this big rally in the market, like something like this, where you get this big push. That's a flush on the bulls or the bears, pretty much. You get these big, really big pushes. On the bear case, we haven't really gotten a flush yet. Now, it's a little bit different because you got to remember, you take the steps up and then you take the elevator down. So yeah, you're going to say, well, what about this one? Or what about this one? This big flush. You got to remember, it's a little bit more dramatic in this. And the reason why I'm saying that there could be a flush is mostly because the VIX is warning us. Let's go back to the VIX. The VIX is about to cross over also into a bullish stance. And then if you also look at the VIX, there's no simple moving averages above VIX anymore, or below, or yeah, above VIX. It's going to the moon, that saying. That you do have a $30 resistance, by the way. But that's what I'm saying is a lot of volume is coming back in the market. And a lot of people, do you even know what the VIX is? It's volatility. It's not feared in the market. It's not greed in the market. It's volume. You can see volume coming in back into the market. And honestly, it has a lot of room to spike. And honestly, if you don't understand, I get it. It took me like 4 years, not gonna lie. But that's what I'm saying is the next step is if Google gives out, and then you also have the other Google give out to the 100 simple moving average, and then you also have NVIDIA giving out to the 100 simple moving average, and then you also have Microsoft, which has no more supports, starting to give out, and then you also have Amazon sitting above its 100 simple moving average. There's a little bit more room to go, by the way. I'm on the 4-hour chart. And then there's a little bit more room on AVGO to go to that 200 maybe. Same thing with Amazon. And then Tesla has no more supports. And then also on Meta, there's no more supports. There is a good chance where we do break this 50 simple moving average and just head down to the 100 simple moving average on the triple Qs. Now, does that mean it's going to happen tomorrow, Jimmy? No, it could happen within 2 weeks. It could take 3 weeks. There could be a small bounce in between. And I talk about it all the time. Sometimes, let me just back it up for you. Let me turn off some simple moving averages so the new traders can understand. Sometimes you do get bounces. Sometimes you just keep on rejecting off that 10, and sometimes you do get a bounce back up to that 20, just like how I was pointing out. If we did get a bounce, let me delete that. Like sometimes if we do get a bounce, it'll probably hit that 20 and then reject, something like that. But sometimes we do get a bounce. So make sure you're doing enough time on options, because if you do get that bounce and then get the flush, you can still break even or make gains. So just trying to give you a rundown on the market, because this is going to be, it's different than a bull trend, because in a bull trend, you take the steps up and then you take the elevator down. But just pay attention. Let's see. You just watch. For me, if you're thinking, what is King doing? Honestly, the next probably day or so, I'm going, actually, is it breaking right now? Dang it, I don't think I uploaded the video in time. Oh no, oh well. If you didn't join the Discord, this is your fault. This is the reason why you joined the Discord. You joined paid membership. You would have heard this like 2 hours later. The time this video comes out, there is a chance it breaks this and just then drops to like 690, 685, I don't know, whichever. But in general, just watch Google, because if Google continues to drop off of that, let me put my 50 back on. If Google does break this 50, which it already is, it's going to take the market to the next drop of the triple Qs. And you're going to start seeing the market drop down to that 50 simple moving average really quickly. But I'm going to warn you, if you are like the guy in the back that is like super bullish, you buy the dip, bro, because you watch every other YouTuber get really rich because they buy dips in bull markets, and then like when a bear market comes, their account get wiped. I'm going to tell you right now, Your bull trend is over. So if you are super addicted to buying calls and buying calls, saying buy the dip, I'm going to tell you right now, there is a chance where we don't bounce off that 50 once again, and we do go down to the 100 simple moving average. And then you should start. Honestly, for me, I'm not buying no calls in anything until we hit that 100 or 200 simple moving average. That's just my honest truth, not financial advice, educational purposes only. But I'm going to wait too. If we do get this rejection and if we do hit that 50, I'm probably going to stop trading for like 2-3 weeks. I'm being dead honest. I know my Discord members are like, nuh-uh. Yeah, I'm probably going to stop trading until we start actually getting the liquidation back down to a realistic level, to finding support around that 100. I'm not going to buy any calls. Not at all. So just giving you a warning, Discord members, but we're breaking it. Yep, I didn't get this video out in time. I'm so sorry, guys. Dude, it's been a crazy, crazy week. I've had a lot of cussy stuff going on, so I tried. But if this does bounce, if this time the video does upload and we do bounce and it just continues to make just lower lows and just consolidating, it could be the next day. But if it does break this around 693, 694 by tonight, then it's probably going to start heading down to its 50 simple moving average within the next 2 days. So, but love you guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for liking the videos. Thank you for the support in the Discord too, and especially the new members that come in the Discord saying, hey, I've been watching your videos. They've been helping me a lot. Thanks, guys.